Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing alright. If you're not, hopefully we can turn that mood around today. Anyways, I have a question for you. Are you Toon enough? Let's jump back in time a bit to the year 2004. You just finished your sick play session of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and you turn your CRT TV back onto Disney Channel and witness one of the greatest commercials of all time.
Burns.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Fuller.
Here.
Nelson. Nelson. Nelson.
Here.
Toontown, the outrageous online game where you can create your own Toon and do almost anything. With your parents' permission, get 3 days of free play at Toontown.com. Toontown!
Are you Toon enough? Honestly, I love the Toontown commercials. Just something about them was so fun seeing them come up on my TV as a kid. And honestly, it was always one of my dreams to be in one of those commercials. Of course, at the time, I was also like 4, not an actor, didn't live in LA, and looked like this. But that doesn't mean I can't make my own childhood dreams come true. So, you know what? Let's make my own Toontown commercial. Has this ever happened to you? You're just minding your business, walking down the street, when all of a sudden, oh no, it's a robot wearing a suit. Well, what are we gonna do? Well, you pull out your red button and drop the Titanic on their mechanical ass. Oh, it hasn't? Well, guess what? Now it can! On Toontown, the massively multiplayer online role-playing game by Disney! Do you like fishing? We got that! Kart racing? You bet we do! Mini golf? Only the best! And I didn't even mention the best part. Come alive as your very own fursona. Wanna be a dog? Go for it. Horse? Sure, why not? Duck? You fucking know it. So what are you waiting for? Get online today with your parents' permission at Toontown.com. Are you Toon enough? Oh, okay, yeah, I took a few creative liberties with it, but I think it still turned out pretty well. I mean, I'm sure it would convince at least a dozen kids to download Toontown. Anyways, those commercials were really just the start of the true Toontown experience, and once you hit that download button, oh boy, were you in for something special. But hey, what's the point? What are we supposed to do, and why are there so many cogs? I mean, oh my god. I guess what I'm really asking is, what are we fighting for? Well, those are all really great questions. Honestly, probably better suited for my buddy Lawson over at Story Forward. So I'm just gonna let him answer those. And definitely because he's better suited to answer those questions, and definitely not because I just want to take a break for a little minute, okay? Have fun. It's non-alcoholic, shut up.
Now look, the story of Toontown is not going to win any awards. It's aimed primarily at children and suffers all of the same pitfalls as any other massively multiplayer online RPG, which usually means that storytelling is little more than an obstacle in the way of grindy quests and excuses to jump into combat. The setup of an army of cartoon characters battling evil corporate robots is straightforward, flexible, and a great starting point for generating hours of MMO content that sees you running from shop to shop and defeating increasingly large numbers of bad guys. For me, playing as a 7-year-old, it did its job perfectly well. It kept me playing for years into my pre-adolescence, it inspired pages of fanfiction and forum posts, and largely introduced me to the magic of the internet and cooperative gameplay. Toontown, interestingly enough in its early days, had a much stronger emphasis on story. If you started playing between 2003 and 2005, the downloader plays a flash animated intro video that explains the origin of the cogs. Eccentric billionaire Scrooge McDuck pays a visit to his inventor-employee, Gyro Gearloose, who has seemingly built a giant robot. Seeing a potential for profit, Scrooge recklessly connects some wires and activates the robot, which immediately begins manufacturing his army of cogs. Scrooge looks on in horror as the instrument of his town's undoing manifests itself and takes to the skies, beginning a decades-long war between their agents of destruction and the plucky Toontown freedom fighters. Fun fact about Gyro Gearloose, apparently in the DuckTales reboot, you can see the word cogs written in his notepad, so hey, guess what, Josh? Toontown and DuckTales take place in the same universe. Who knew? The rest of the game's story sees you bounce around from neighborhood to neighborhood, each themed after different Disney characters, and take on the cogs in the streets, in their office buildings, and their spooky boss battle headquarters. But what's really interesting to me about the story of Toontown is its theme. Yes, really, theme. The entire cartoon aesthetic of the game and all of Disney's iconic characters are representations of fun and creativity. The weapons they use against the cogs are goofy pranks and wacky cartoon weapons like squirt guns, pies to the face, and falling pianos. The evil cog robots are designed, named, and themed after concepts from the corporate world. You have pencil pushers, glad handers, micromanagers, and all different kinds of boring, suit-wearing manifestations of corporate greed. It's more than a little bit ironic coming from Disney, one of the largest, strongest corporate monoliths in the United States. As a kid playing this game, you're kind of being trained to see Disney TM characters as symbols of freedom, expression, and creativity, and definitely not as products pushed upon you by a bunch of boring, risk-averse assholes swimming in their money Scrooge McDuck style while stripping stories of their uniqueness, minimizing representation of diverse cultures, and regularly suing their biggest fans into financial oblivion. That said, the intended theme of the story and world still feels worthwhile in a product aimed primarily at kids. It's a good message to not let your creativity, free spirit, and enthusiasm be stamped out by some big cheese. Don't sacrifice your identity to a system that wants to homogenize, synergize, and drain the world of its color in blind pursuit of profit. Unless, you're directing a Star Wars movie for Disney or something.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ, Lawson, not pulling any punches today. I mean, you're right, but still, oh my god, I need some ointment for that burn. While the story may not be perfect, that's not really what anyone's playing the game for. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I've been playing Toontown Rewritten religiously during quarantine, and I have no idea what's going on. So, thanks again to Lawson for taking that one for me. It's definitely because I wanted his real hard input on it and not because I just wanted to take a break for a little bit. So go show him some love. Go subscribe to his channel, I don't know which one. Probably Story Forward. Maybe that'll convince him to make more videos. But anyway, gameplay. Let's talk about it. So even though the game really centered around beating the ever-living shit out of cogs with whatever gags you had at your disposal, at the end of the day, there was so much to do that you could really spend hours at a time with your friends doing pretty much whatever you wanted. You could play fish bingo and constantly get really pissed that you can't just get a fucking nurse shark, even though you just want to get bingo. Oh my god, I just want to play the game, but I can't get the fucking nurse shark. Or you could hop on the trolley and play a bunch of mini games that honestly were pretty fun. Well, most of them were pretty fun. Some of them we don't talk about. But truly, none of them compared to the two giants of Toontown side activities. Mini golf and kart racing. Mini golf was pretty much exactly what you'd expect, but that doesn't mean it wasn't fun. It was probably the perfect balance of challenge to just dumb shit fun. I mean, sure, it doesn't really compare to the real thing, but I mean, listen, guys, nothing's gonna compare to real life mini golf, okay? But we have to take what we can get right now, okay? Because we're just facing really difficult circumstances, and some of us are really missing mini golf a lot more than other people for some reason, even though everyone should really be missing mini golf because it's like the most fun thing you can ever have. But I mean, we gotta take what we can get, guys, okay? Because if we don't appreciate what we have, then what's the point? Sorry, I seem to have gotten a little heated there. I apologize. Anyways, I really saved the best for last for you guys because we've got kart racing. Hell yeah! I'm talking city tracks. I'm talking country tracks. I'm talking stadium tracks. I'm talking cold city tracks. I mean it when I say it, guys. They thought of everything. Okay, honestly, it's fine. Obviously, it's not nearly as good as stuff like Mario Kart or Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour, but I mean, what do you expect? You're playing this with mouse and keyboard. I mean, kart racers are made for controllers. There's only so much you can do, and honestly, they did a pretty good job. But there's also a reason that's not what they're really showing off in those commercials. I mean, come on, look at them. They were showing off the cogs, the big cheese, the throwing pies, the fire hoses. You know, the cool shit, TM. Now, most of the time, you'd really just be fighting cogs in the streets of one of the many different neighborhoods in Toontown. Which reminds me, there were some freaking awesome areas in Toontown. We've got Baby Bitch Zone Toontown Central for all the newbie players to piss and shit in. Then we've got Donald's Dock. You're moving up in the world, baby. Nice job, you're doing great. Also bonus points because it's like Donald Duck. Oh wait, what's this? Minnie's Melody Land? Don't mind if I do. Oh yes, please. Oh my gosh dang goodness, what's this? Daisy Gardens? And it's right next to the Cellbot HQ? Whatever shall we do? Get back to that later, that's what. Because we still gotta talk about the Burr. with Pluto for some reason. Does anyone know why he's there? I mean, like, I get it's his area, but like, why? And then finally, we've got Donald's Dreamland. This is where all the big ballers are. And that's not even including the COG HQs. This is where Toons become, what's the name for an adult cartoon? This is where Toons become anime. I'm talking the Cellbot Factory. I'm talking the Cashbot Mints. I'm talking the Bossbot Country Club. I'm talking the Lawbot District Attorney's Office. But hey, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Unfortunately, the thing that initially made Toontown so enticing for so many players also eventually ended up being what did it in. You see, unlike most games, even most MMOs, there was no real end to Toontown. There was no final boss, there was no completing the game. There was no winning. I mean, yeah, there were bosses, of course. Every COG HQ had this big bad boss that you could fight as many times as you wanted. Well, after you beat enough COGs, but still, that's not really the same thing. And sure, there's the whole quest ladder to work through as well, but with no true final goal in mind, it's really hard to stay motivated with something for that long, especially without a good community. Which, thankfully, Toontown actually had. Let's go back in time again, but just a little bit, back to the year 2013. Toontown was announced to be shutting down alongside the rest of the Disney MMOs, like Pirates of the Caribbean Online and Pixie Hollow, for some unknown reason. Just kidding, it was a declining player base, which itself was a result of a lack of updates for the game. So really, the end of Toontown was almost a self-fulfilling prophecy in that respect. Disney assumed people stopped caring about the game, so they stopped updating it. And then people stopped caring about it. But not everyone. Within literally a month of Toontown closing up shop in September of 2013, Toontown Rewritten was already in its alpha stages being playtested and reverse engineered to recreate the authentic Toontown experience. Well, without the Disney characters. But hey, I mean, you know how lawsuits are. Being lawsuits and all. But honestly, probably the most insane thing about Toontown Rewritten is its popularity. Almost 2 million accounts have been created for a fan recreation of a game that was shut down almost 10 years ago. That's fucking insane to me. The game's also run completely at a loss with zero advertisements, payments, or even donations of any kind. It's truly just built out of the dedication of this community that wanted to preserve what was such a big part of their childhoods. I'm gonna say it, guys. I'm so proud of this community. I'm gonna be honest, I really doubt Disney will ever give an official relaunch or revival to Toontown. I mean, MMOs are just way past their prime anyways, and Disney, I mean, really has been just saying fuck it to video games entirely for the past, like, almost decade now. So honestly, I'd be shocked if we ever got to see anything new come from Disney on the video game side of things, honestly. I can't help but just be a little upset about that. I mean, I talked about it in my Magical Racing Tour video too, and there's absolutely the space for Disney to come back in some capacity to video gaming, and I'm just shocked they haven't. I mean, it's right there for the taking. It'd be so fun to have some Disney-style party games, and maybe that will actually change in the next few years. I don't know. I can't say. But in the meantime, Toontown Rewritten still holds up fantastically well. So if you're feeling nostalgic, it's definitely worth a download. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna end today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out my buddy Lawson's channel at Story Forward, or his podcast. I'll link both of those down in the description. And just once again, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked today's video, please leave a like. If you want to leave your thoughts about it, if you've been playing Toontown Rewritten or anything, or if you just have memories from Toontown that you want to share, please leave those down in the comments below. And if you like what I do here, if you want to see more of what I do, hit that subscribe button, maybe hit that bell icon so you can get notified, and I'll see you all next time. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.